Hello, guys. So now we'll be talking about the content delivery. So between the content delivery and the vault cubic and the storage cubic, there's not really much difference between them. The most difference that is between them, let me show you now, is just that the content delivery, if you're using it via the web interface, it gives you a link to the thing. The link, you just have an extra button of a link where your file is. For example, like this one here. So underneath there will be a button to view the link where the file is. So if you want to use this link in your other places, you just if you want to use the link in other places, you just copy this link here and then you paste it wherever you want to paste it. But let's just check if it's currently working. So you see, it links you to where the file is. So pretty much it's working. But what we need mostly here now, since we're going to be using the Node.js library to interact with the thing via APIs, we're gonna need a token and application ID. So inside the homepage for the Cubic content delivery, we're gonna go to the API keys and information. So inside API keys and information, we click here to view our API details. If you haven't created yet your API, there will be a green button to create your API. But since I've created already, so what we need here, we need the token ID and we need the application ID. Those are the two things that we need in order to be able to operate, to use the Node.js application, the Node.js library. So we're just going to head into an IDE so I can start showing you guys how to work with the Node.js library. So here in the Node.js project, right, I simply have the Cubic library and the .env packages. Then in the index, then in the data file, just they've got one of the objects that we're gonna be needing to. It's like a data object that we're going to be needing to work with when we are working with one of the methods of the class of the cubic. In the config, it's just the env. To keep your token safe in the application ID. I advise you guys to keep it in a env or whichever way you put it into the application, but don't like put it bare in the JS files. It's not safe that way. So we're just going to initialize and install our modules. So we're just going to run npm I. So now that we have got our node module and our application is ready, right. So first thing we need from the cubic, we need to import the cubic library inside our project. Then when we import the cubic library, first thing we need to do is initialize the cubic class. So the cubic class expects two things from you, right? It expects the token and the application ID. So even if you hover on top of it, it will tell you what it needs. You see here, it needs a token, it needs an application ID. So we're gonna start with getting all the cubics, right? We're gonna start with getting all the cubics. So there's a get all cubics class inside the cubic guide. So we're just gonna create a function, then we'll see what it brings back. So all cubics equals. And another thing, all of the functions that all of the methods of the cubic class, all of them, they are synchronous. So just going to do const all cubics equals cubic area. Then we need this method get cubics. We don't need to give it any arguments. We just text the straight cubic. It's just calling the method on its own. It doesn't need any arguments, this one here. So if you have an error, we're just going to throw the error. Error. Right, so let's call our function get cubics. I need to put in. Just going to log the results console. And then we're just going to catch the error. Console. So let's check if we are doing the right thing. Let's run our application in Node.js and see if it's working. Node index. Undefined. What's undefined? What's undefined? What's undefined? What's undefined? What's undefined? Ah, I'm not returning anything here. Fuck. Return all cubics. Return all cubics. All right. Yeah, so you see, if the function went through and there is no error, it returns an object with a few keys on it. But the key that we are much interested in is the cubics key. So let's destructure it. Right? We need cubics. And then let's return cubics here. And let's see. Actually, let's do console D. So see now. So we only have one cubic. We look inside the. We look inside our web interface. We look inside the web interface. We only have one cubic, one content delivery cubic. This one here. So that's the one that we're getting. That's the one we're getting back. This one here. So inside each cubic, on the content value, let's get further down into it. All right, 0. We're more interested in this contents here because that's where all the document, all the files that we need are kept again. So we're just going to get image. Let's see what's in the image. We need contents. Contents. Okay, so in dot contents. So just like in the cubic where there are two sides, there's singles and there is folders. So these are all the images. Okay, let's just get the images in the singles. Let's do here const. Let's destructure it. Const equals use image. Then the image. Let's just see. We need singles. We need singles and folders. But for now, let's obtain singles. Let's see singles image that we have inside there. So you see, these are the single images These are the same images that are inside there. And if you compare with the web interface, compare with the web interface, compare with the web interface, yeah, those are the symbols that we have. So those are all the symbols that we got inside of the application that we're building. Those are the symbols. So for now, let's look at the folder item. Let's look at the folder. So even if we compare, we've got 1, 2, 3 folders. So even if we compare with the web interface on the Cubic side, on the folder side, yeah, we only have 3 folders: test, party, and birthday. Yeah, so here's party, here's birthday, here's test. So that's how we get all the cubics with the get all the cubics method. Let's look at the get cubic. Let's get only one cubic. So there is also another function to get one cubic. Let's just comment out this one.